the Warriors are setting up for a massive move, as some have already begun to question the legitimacy of Jonathan Kuminga's commitment level to the team. The unescapable gauntlet of midseason trade talks has undoubtedly begun. And folks, we're not even in the middle of this season yet. In fact, the season hasn't even started, and due to the questions of Jonathan Kuminga's commitment level to the team, that has now bred midseason trade talks for his availability once he does become available on January 15th of the upcoming year. One potential suitor, Bam Adebayo, to reunite with Jimmy Butler in the Bay Area in hopes of claiming a title. What's going on, everybody? I'm Houston Bo. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Warriors Digest. First things first, would Pat Riley really send help to Jimmy Butler, the guy who has absolutely torn down the franchise over the last year, said he completely lost his joy for playing basketball because of the Miami Heat? Would Pat Riley, the president of the Miami Heat, really think to himself, yeah, I'm going to get Jonathan Kuminga in return. Sure, why not? I'll send Bam Adebayo, all-star, over to the Golden State Warriors to help out Jimmy Butler. That is the biggest crutch for this situation. Massive reporters, massive NBA storytellers that are reporting on this and the potential of what could be a reunion between Jimmy and Bam. So it's possible for sure, but some major things stand in the way. And before we get into all the news surrounding that potential deal and other potential trade talks for Kuminga, I want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. Easiest way for you guys to never miss out on a video, easiest way for you guys to support us on the channel. And we have a lot of exciting things not only coming up from this channel, but opportunities for you guys to potentially join the channel as well. We'll be discussing that in future episodes and moving forward as well, so stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for the support on the videos and support in the comment section and the community that we are continuing to build. So what exactly are these reports looking like? Well, first off, from Brett Siegel, who, again, fantastic NBA reporter, Bam Adebayo is another all-star in the East who would be at the top of the Warriors list of potential trade targets if you were to ever request a trade from the Miami Heat. And so it's sort of reliant on that. Okay, if Bam does try to force his way out of Miami, maybe not as scrutinizingly, I don't even know if that's a word, maybe not as dramatically is a better way to put it, as Jimmy Butler did. But if they're having a bad year and Bam says, nope, I want a title now, wants to get out of there, the Golden State Warriors specifically could be a potential landing spot for Bam Adebayo, and obviously he would be at the top of the Warriors trade list because he would fit this team fantastically. A type of center that we haven't really seen on the Warriors much over this incredible run of championships over the last decade or so. So it would be interesting to see if that would be a possibility. And then also the Sacramento Kings expected to pursue a trade for Jonathan Kuminga during the 25-26 season. And it sounds like a sign-and trade was not close to happening during this last offseason, even though there were lots of talks. The Malik Monk trade, Suns had Royce O'Neal and some picks on the board, but apparently it didn't actually come to get close to coming to fruition at all. There was just not an alignment of thoughts and headspaces from these organizations and Jonathan Kuminga's camp, which is one of the main reasons he ultimately ended up back in the Bay Area. But of course, all of this only happens if the Warriors have an awful first half of the season. If things are going well, maybe even if things are going well and they feel like there's some spots that are missing, I still think they will commit to Jonathan Kuminga, pay him continue to commit to the contract, continue to see this season through at least before the team option kicks in next year. But if things are going poorly, then yes, I would not be surprised if both sides pursue a trade mid-season. Bulls, Kings, Suns, all teams that have interest in acquiring Jonathan Kuminga from Jake Fisher as well. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Trey Murphy, obviously known dream targets for the Warriors, but Bam Adebayo added to the list as well. And lots of other teams are interested in Bam. This is no surprise that Bam Adebayo is a guy that people want on their team. But I do think it's interesting noting that Jimmy is here. If Pat Riley wasn't the president of the Heat, I would think that this would be a very high likelihood of chance of happening. But because of that Pat Riley-Jimmy Butler feud, I'm not too confident that this will be happening. But I do think the Warriors are setting up to make a move at some point, and their roster, their financials, the deal that they signed Kuminga to is all setting up to have the potential to make a move. They're no longer, locked into Jonathan Kuminga has no trade clause. They can't get rid of him. The money doesn't work out for pairing contracts with another franchise. I do think that all the moves are in place and all the pieces of the puzzle are perfectly aligned for if a trade opportunity did arrive. I would not be surprised if the Warriors took it. But if things are going well and the season is progressing in a way that you want it to, I would imagine that Jonathan Kuminga and this Warriors franchise would have long-term commitment levels to each other, which is what I hope and would like to see. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, these are guys that have a lot of history together. 2 finals runs that didn't end quite the way that they were hoping that they would, running into a fantastic Lakers team and then a fantastic Nuggets team just a couple of years ago as well. But I do think the chemistry is there, and that would be an incredible opportunity. So keep your eyes open for that as well. We looked at that, and then also this was one of the most encouraging quotes that I've seen all offseason so far. We talked about the commitment level of Jonathan Kuminga, what he's going to bring to the team, and the importance that, hey, Johnny, we don't need you in the offseason working on mid-range fadeaways or working on back to the basket. Like, that's not going to be your role. But it is cool to see that he felt like in that Timberwolves series and even now in the first couple of days of training camp that he's learning the system. He's learning how to play alongside Jimmy. I think it's very important, did Kuminga say, that we're here now, early, trying to figure each other out. I feel like we actually did figure each other out a little bit going through that series last year. He said it's very easy and simple to play with Jimmy Butler, which is exactly what I would agree Jimmy Butler does on the floor. He simplifies the game around the roster. Kuminga said, we actually got to sit down more now. I get to ask him certain questions. How does he like to play? What is he like? I feel like having us having a lot of time together, me being healthy, him being here day one, training camp-wise, it's going to help us figure things out with each other moving forward. And this is another reason why I'm so confident in what Jonathan Kuminga is going to be for this upcoming season. I think those aren't conversations that he would have been having these last couple of years. I think there would have been a little bit of an ego still in the way. But I think right now he's truly understanding, you know what? The eyes of the fan base are on me. The eyes of the NBA are on me. I got to prove not only that I can commit to my actual role, but that I can mesh well with the other guys on a roster. Because guess what? No matter how good of a player you are, people don't want to trade for you. Organizations, owners, GMs, president of basketball operation guys, they don't want to trade for you if they know you're going to be a menace in the locker room. This is why a lot of these guys struggle to find other teams when they're in that position or struggle to find legitimate roles. Draymond, Pat Bev, some of those guys, it works out and has worked out in their careers because they're so solid on the floor that can kind of override that. But Jonathan Kuminga is not at that position right now in his career. I would expect that if things came out from this upcoming season that there'd been locker room issues that will completely and 100% hinder his opportunity to be traded elsewhere to a solid contending team. So Jonathan Kuminga, still interested to know your guys' thoughts. I feel like we're very still much split down the middle. A lot of guys think he's going to be committed. A lot of guys still want him to be shipped off elsewhere. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Do you like the Bam Adebayo deal? Do you like the potential of pairing Bam and Jimmy up in Golden State, or would you prefer Giannis or Trey Murphy, or maybe even Jokic in a couple of years once the books open up in 2027? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Appreciate you guys tuning in to another video. Trade Talk's going to be heating up the entire year. We will be covering it all season long. Again, my hope is still that Jonathan Kuminga comes, get this fly out of my face. He comes to the team. He commits, things go well throughout the first half of the season, and trade talks don't even have to happen because things are going so well. That's best case scenario from my perspective, and I hope that's what we see. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I've been Houston Bo. You have been the fans, and as always, go Dubs. Peace.